Good afternoon. This is a statement from the office of the incoming president on the pronouncements of the outgoing president. The remarks from the outgoing president, broadcast over GRTS, which were made during talks with representatives of the African Bar Association who are on a fact-finding mission, deserve a response from the office of the incoming president. It is important for the Gambian people in particular and the world at large to understand the political situation in the country. Currently, there is an incoming and an outgoing president. This is a constitutional and political fact that should be a primary focus for all fact-finding missions, in particular, and the public at large. The visitors and the Gambian people must never draw any conclusion unless they hear from both administrations and then separate the grain from the chaff. The outgoing president's pronouncements tends to give the impression that he is not an outgoing president. It gives the wrong notion that the outgoing president will continue to have grip on power after the expiration of the 5-year term in January. It makes some people to believe that the incoming president has no mandate to prepare for his inauguration because an election petition has been filed by the party of the loser. The incoming president wants to make it very clear that the petition of the APRC candidate who has lost the 1st December 2016 elections has no bearing on the preparation being made for him to assume office in January. Every loser in an election contest has the right to go to court and find redress to any grievance. However, such an action does not deprive the winner the right to take over a government when one is constitutionally mandated to do so. It should be clear to the public that while the loser has every right to make claims and indicate the court actions it is taking to get a court decision, it is contrary to the spirit and letter of the Constitution to give the impression that the victory of the winner is suspended and his entitlement to prepare to be inaugurated put on hold by an election petition. It is prejudicial to argue the merit of an election petition in the media. This is why the incoming president has requested for the court case to be considered as the exercise of right by a private citizen to seek redress in the courts, and not a state matter affecting the mandatory transfer of executive power as dictated by the Constitution. The incoming president is committed to the principles of electoral jurisprudence, the independence and impartiality of the judiciary, and the rights of aggrieved citizens to seek redress in courts, and would not wish to make any comments that would be prejudicial to the exercise of such rights. In the same vein, he calls on all responsible authorities to reciprocate by not making any utterances which impinges on his rights to enjoy the stature of a president-elect as guaranteed in all civilized countries, and prepare for his inauguration as constitutionally guaranteed. The incoming president wants it to be known without any shadow of doubt that he has the constitutional mandate to prepare to assume office in January 2017. The facts are as follows. Section 63, subsection 1 of the Constitution states that the term of office of an elected president shall be for a term of 5 years, beginning when a person takes oath of office. Outgoing President Jammeh took office on 19th January 2012. His 5-year term expires in January 2017. Anybody could do the arithmetic for oneself. Section 46 of the Constitution instructs that there shall be an election to the office of president in the 3 months before the expiration of the term of the incumbent. This is why elections were held on 1st December 2016 before the expiration of the January 2012 to January 2017 mandate of the outgoing president, President Jammeh. Section 41 of the Constitution empowers the IEC to conduct elections and to declare results under Section 81 of the Elections Act. This has happened. President-elect Barrow is declared the winner. In terms of assumption of office, Section 63, subsection 2 of the Constitution states, the President shall take the prescribed oaths and assume office on the day the term of office of the incumbent president expires. This is incapable of distortion. This is the law of the land. It is the President-elect Barrow who is declared elected. It is mandatory for him to take the prescribed oath of office and assume office on the day the term of office of President Jammeh expires, in accordance with the letter and spirit of Section 63, subsection 2 of the Constitution. This swearing-in ceremony is what is referred to as an inauguration ceremony. The date of inauguration of the President-elect has been determined by us to the best of our capacity. It is still a matter for consultation with the outgoing president. We are determined to ensure that the law is interpreted correctly and is observed when it is known. President Jammeh is to serve for 5 years starting from 19 January 2012 when he took oath of office. According to Section 2 of the Interpretation Act, a year in law means 12 months as reckoned under the British calendar adopted in 1752 as the Gregorian calendar, which took into account the orbit of the earth taking 365 and quarter days. Hence, the concept of a leap year was introduced in every 4 years. According to the law of the land, the calendar year is the 12 months of the year, starting in January with 31 days and ending in December with 31 days. Hence, the calendar year has 365 days in a normal year and 366 days in a leap year. In computation of time, according to the Interpretation Act, the counting of the days starts on the following day. Hence, from the 19th to the 20th is 1 day. From the 19th to the 24th is 2 days, etc. In a similar vein, from 19 January to 19 February is 1 month. From 19 January to 19 March is 2 months, etc. Likewise, from 19 January 2012 to 19 January 2013 is 1 year. To 19 January 2014, 2 years. To 19 January 2017, 5 years. Thus, in our own computation, the term of office of President Jammeh should expire starting 1 second after midnight and goes up to midnight of 19 January 2017. Hence, President-elect Barrow could take oath and assume office any time up to midnight of 19 January 2017. This will be conveyed to the outgoing president once he opens line of communication. This was the intention when a team was established by President-elect Barrow to work with the team that should have been constituted by outgoing President Jammeh, so that all these issues would be discussed and agreed in common rather than discussed in the public space. ECOWAS to us is acting according to the Constitution of the Gambia. When the 4 heads of states of ECOWAS came for a fact-finding mission, they gathered that President-elect Adama Barrow was declared winner by the Independent Electoral Commission as required by the law of the land. They were also given the constitutional facts that the elected president should assume office on the day of expiration of the term of office of the incumbent, which is 19th January 2017 according to our computation. This is why they said that they will grace the occasion in their numbers. In making that declaration, they are in no way implying that they intend to interfere with the internal affairs of the country. On the contrary, they are perfectly in concert with the letter and spirit of the Gambian Constitution. This is how matters stand. Hence, President-elect Barrow right to assume office on the 19th of January 2016 according to our computation. The pronouncement of the outgoing president is of course of concern. The original position of the outgoing president in accepting the results and opening a line of communication for a smooth transfer of executive power did go well with everyone and was the best way of protecting national sovereignty and allowing Gambians to manage their own affairs with the support of the friends of the country. On the other hand, the unilateral and unconstitutional declaration of annulment of the results, expulsion of the IEC, and announcement of another election gave rise to national and international expression of outrage and a call for the outgoing president to step down. Realizing that the seed of conflict was being sown by the untimely announcement, the incoming president, who does not wish to preside over a torn and tattered country and a divided, warring people, exposed the unconstitutional declaration of the outgoing president and reminded the people that he is the incoming president who recognizes and respects the mandate of the outgoing president and is also preparing for his inauguration in January, when he should also, which should also be recognized and respected by the incumbent. Hence, the stage was set for the incoming and outgoing presidents to show respect for the Constitution and ensure that constitutional processes prevail in the supreme interest of the country. The avalanche of condemnations may have influenced the APRC to resort to constitutional processes to find redress. It was later announced that they will seek redress from the courts as provided by Section 49 of the Constitution, which states, any registered political party which has participated in the presidential election may apply to the Supreme Court to determine the validity of the election of a president by filing a petition within 10 days of the declaration of the results of the election. The incoming president has no intention to interfere with the constitutional process of seeking redress by election petition. The outgoing president should not interfere with the constitutional processes of swearing in an elected president when the term of the incumbent expires, as well as his entitlements as president-elect before assuming office. Queries touching on the issue of prosecuting the outgoing president